Okay, can everyone hear me? Let me open up some consoles here. No, you can't hear me. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, I think I got most things open here. All right, so in this stream, we're probably going to be doing some things in the hub. Some different hub updates. So one idea we had on a previous server of mine is, and as you guys probably noticed from the last live streams, is that whenever a band player gets banned, they can still join the hub, they just can't actually do anything. And so one thing we did previously is they were stuck in like this underground bubble. And so we might use this egg here for this. This was like designed to be an egg. And on a previous server where I used this hub, people could right click this and it would change colors. And every 60 seconds it would reset and said whoever colored the most part of the egg. So that's the idea that we're going to start with. We might do some more after that. But band players will join in here and we'll probably be testing it on some people and obviously unbanning them afterwards. And then also making it so you can like right click this to color it. So that's the first thing we're going to do in this stream, and we might get on to some manhunt testing later on depending on how many people are on. So we're going to start there. The first thing I want to do is get the coordinates, the minimum amount of coordinates that I have to get, which would be right here. So that's negative 147, 126, negative 133. I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to get the other coordinates up here. But before I do that, obviously I can only copy one at a time. And we are going to go into server, servers, hub, and then we're going to make a new class here called color egg. This is going to implement listener because we're going to listen for whenever they actually click on things. We're going to register some events. And then within here, we're going to listen for whenever they're going to click on things within this specific region. But I'm going to add in this right here. And then I'm also going to add in this coordinate right here. Let's just say is, actually, let me join the build server so I can be sure that I have the correct coordinate. So I'll use a different block. Actually, let me turn to my Minecraft sounds because I think that's super loud in the stream. I've heard some people say at least. Okay, so that's good there. That's good there. And this is the correct height. So this is negative 136, 144, negative 146. So now we're going to add in this as a second location. And let's go ahead and say private int x1. We need 6 of these, so x, y, z. And then x2, y2, z2. So now we're going to go through and add in the lowest coordinate, so negative 147, and then negative 136. And then the lowest coordinate for this one is 126, I mean, and then 144. And then negative 146 is lower than negative 133. So we have access to those so we can actually loop through them. So let's create a method that's going to actually reset this. I'm going to basically make a command that's going to loop through all of the glass blocks here, the stained glass blocks, and change the data values to what the command has. So we're going to start with that, and then we can actually make sure that we have access to the correct coordinates to loop through all of this. And then from there, I can make it so whenever someone right-clicks a stained glass within the region, then we can actually color that to a random glass. So let's say private void color. Let's then have a int color. And so we want to basically loop through all this. However, we do need access to a world for all this. So private world, and then here we can say world equals buckets.getWorlds.get, whoops, get worlds.get 0. So at this stage, we get access to the first world. There's only one in the hub. Okay. Hold on. I'm doing some things on another monitor real quick. Okay, there we go. Oh, fireworks are going off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try looping through all this. I'm going to create a command here. So new command base. Anyone will be able to use this. So in a few seconds, if you want to try it out, you guys can try running the command and basically override the color of the glass. So we can say color glass. It's going to require one argument. And then within here, we're going to say public boolean on command. We're going to get a command sender, and we're also going to get some arguments. And then we also need to make sure we return true. And then we're going to say public string get usage, and we're going to return color glass and then color code. So there's that. So anyone will be able to use this. So you guys can try this here in a few seconds. Hello. I'm going to back up a little bit more so people aren't just launching fireworks right in my face. So now with that said, we need to gain access to what they want. So we can say, try this, int color equals integer.value of arguments index 0. However, we can catch a number format exception because in this case, they did not provide a number. They could have said /color glass space testing or anything like that. We could then, let's see here, message.send to sender and error. Actually, I think we could just return false here and it'll tell them. But let's send them a custom message. So please provide a number. And so the different numbers are going to be, let's see here, these values here. So 0, 1, 2, all that stuff. So for example, I believe that this is this number right here, 3 by default. And so we can basically loop through those with a command and actually change the color of this. That's the idea. So now that we have access to the number right here, and it's going to throw an exception. What is this warning? Parse int. Okay, apparently it likes parse int more. So now with that said, we can loop through all of the x, y, and z locations. So for int x equals x1, while x is less than or equal to x2, plus plus x. We're going to do this for all 3 of them. So for int, we're going to start with z here actually. Z is less than or equal to z2 plus plus z, and then we're going to loop through the y. So int y equals y1, while y is less than or equal to y2 plus plus y. Now at this stage, we can get access to a block. So block equals world dot get block at x, y, z. And then we can say if block.getType is exactly equal to stained glass, we can then say block.setData as a cast of byte to color. We can actually just make this a byte. Is there a byte thing? I'm guessing it's parse byte. Now we don't have to actually cast this. Okay, there we go. So that's the idea there. So we're going to make sure that this actually works. First, we have to actually run this class so it registers everything. So right here, just anywhere we could say new color egg. And now at this stage, we're basically just going to loop through all of the blocks. And let's add in a delay, enable delay 2 seconds. Just so people aren't like completely spamming it. So I'm assuming people are going to like override each other. And it might get a little crazy at first, but we're not going to have like hundreds of people trying to do this, so it shouldn't lag things too much at all. And obviously, this is just a testing command to make sure we got the region correct. So let's actually remove this. We don't technically need that. But in the end, we will listen for events if they're clicking, and that's fairly simple to do. We'll just basically see if it's, you know, within these boundaries, and if it's a stained glass, then we color it a random color that it is not already. Fairly simple to do. We'll do that afterwards. For now, we're going to test this, and so if you are on the hub, feel free to go to manhunt or kit PvP because the hub will restart here in a few seconds. So make sure you go there. I don't think there's a second hub. Yeah, okay. If there's a second hub, I wouldn't bother with that. And actually, I could log into the Bungie server, but I'm assuming people can just join Kit PvP. So this obviously isn't like a major feature. This is just like a thing that we can just do in the hub just for fun for the most part. Let's see here. Send all Kit PvP 1. There we go. I'm just going to manually restart the hub real quick just to save some time. I'm just in my other monitor right now. That's where my consoles are, so I don't show anyone's IP. And the hub is restarting, and then we can try out the, what was the command again? Color glass. should be up. Why can't I connect? There we go. Okay, so slash color glass 5. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, so this works. So color glass 1. Oh, I messed up on this side. So what is this? The X needs to decrease by 1. But for the most part, this works. So if you want to try it out, you can color glass and change that number. So go ahead and run that command. That number can be anything from 0 to 16, I believe, or 15. 0 through 15. Okay, but I just need to decrease the X by 1. There we go. So that should work on the next restart. So that's cool. So now the thing is, I want this to reset every minute. And so I'm basically going to take the actual loop that we created in the command and move that into its own thing, into its own method. And we're going to call that every minute. So essentially, actually, that's what I was originally doing. So private void color, byte color. And so now let's take this and let's paste it in here. We get access to the color. We could then say color and pass in the color. So the command is still there. Yes, good catch. A friend system after this, I'm not sure. A friend system is something that is useful, but it's not a... I'm looking to prioritize everything. I guess making a colorful egg in the hub isn't really a priority. A friend system is something I'll do eventually. So here we have this. Now we want to, let's see, we're implementing listener. We're registering the events. Actually, I like registering events at the very last thing so everything's set up, even though it doesn't really matter in this case. Yeah, so that makes sense now. So now in this case, let's go ahead and listen for a time event. And then we're going to see what the current ticks are. So this time event is a custom thing that is ran every 1 tick, 2 ticks, and then I can specify how frequently it's ran. So I'm only using 1 repeated task within my entire project. And so if you're familiar with bucket development, then that's something that is going to basically use an event-based system instead of a repeating task. And so it's going to have better ticks per second in theory. So with this said, I can say if ticks is exactly equal to 20 times 60, so every minute. The party system is broken at the moment, so there's going to be some bugs with it. We couldn't get it fully fixed the other stream. So every 60 seconds, we're basically going to color, and then 3. We have to cast this to a byte. So 3 is the default color code, which is this thing right here. Whoops, I'm uncreative. Okay, I think that'll fix when I restart. We'll see. So 3 is the default color code for the blue. And so we basically want to reset it every single minute. And then at that stage, when we're looping through, we're going to want to see which ones were not actually the default blue, and then who changed that block, which is something we'll also keep track of. So every minute it's going to reset. So we're going to make sure that works. But then players will also be able to right click it to color it, and it'll say after the 60 seconds who colored the most blocks. It's like a little mini game. I used to have this when I used this on a previous server, and some people like to do it every now and again. So it's an easy thing to add, so we're going to do that real quick. So let's just see if this works. So the command will still work, and then hopefully we'll actually fix this thing here. And then every 60 seconds, it'll reset. Let me actually change this to every 10 seconds, just a test, and let's print out resetting, just so I know what's going on. So let me get this ready to restart. And if you're on the hub, then you're going to want to go to Kit PvP or somewhere else. I will send everyone here in a few seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and build this. Okay, so let me go into Bungie and send everyone to Kit PvP. And then in the hub, once it's actually fully deployed, which should be here in a second. There we go, we get to restart the hub now. Okay, so every 10 seconds it'll reset. So we're going to try the color command again, and then it'll reset. What IDE is this? This is IntelliJ. It's pretty much like the go-to one for Java development. I'm not sure about other languages, but it's what I use for Java. Okay, the hub seems up again. So every 10 seconds, it's going to reset. I just saw that in console, so that's working. I can then say color glass 5. And then that should reset here in a second. So we did fix that right there. There we go. So every 10 seconds, this will now reset, no matter what we set it to. And then now what we want to do is listen for whenever players actually click it, and then keep track of who clicked however many blocks. And then once it resets every minute instead of every 10 seconds, it'll then say whoever had the most amount of blocks colored. But it's only going to send that message to people who have actually clicked it within that 60 seconds, because people who are just like sitting here doing parkour probably don't care. Okay, so let's see here. So let's think about how we're going to actually track this. First, let's listen to whenever they click. So public void on player interact event. We're going to say if event.get clicked block is not equal to null and event.get action is not equal to physical, which means that they're clicking on a pressure plate, which is also firing the player interact event. So this means that only leaves left click and right click on blocks in air. And because we're seeing if the clicked block is not null, that means they are clicking on a block. So this means that they're clicking somewhere. We then also want to see if it is, let's see here, let's actually get access to the block. So block equals event.get clicked block. We can actually do this a little bit better by just defining it there and saying if the block is not equal to null. Then this stage we can say if block is not equal to null and that, and block.get type is exactly equal to stained glass. We now know that they clicked on a stained glass. So we could then gain access to the x, y, and z. So x equals block.get x, y equals block.get y, z equals block.get z. And then if x is greater than or equal to x1 and x is less than or equal to x2, then we can go through and do the same exact concept for the other ones. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do this, but I'm just going to use this because I know that this works and it's simple integer check, so it shouldn't actually be a problem. So now we know that they clicked on a glass block at that location. Okay. So at that stage, we're going to want to actually color it a random color between 0 and 15. So we can say block.setData as new random dot next int, and I guess we could just cast this to a byte. Let's see here. What was the exact syntax for this? Let's make sure I get it right. Okay, so it's not exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to define this. I guess I could just define this here. So just in case things change in the future, I'm just going to define a minimum and maximum. So we got like ints. Well, I guess I don't need to do that because the minimum's 0. So we don't, this example here is kind of pointless. So we got next int, and we get to pass in the maximum, which is 15. And then I think that actually might work right there. So let's see if this works. And then we do want to keep track of who colored what. So we could use a hash map with string integer for the player's name. That's an option. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And then what I'm doing here is I'm going to say this equals new hash map. And one reason why I'm defining things like this is what I do in the entire project, because this jar is used for every server, not just the hub. And so I don't want this to actually be like used there. So it's only whenever this is initialized. So now at this stage, we get to gain access to the player. But actually, we only care about the name. So string name equals player, or event.getPlayer, name. It's going pretty good. We just started. Currently, we are making this A could get colored with the different commands here. So like color glass, like 7 or 8 rather, does that. Color glass 5 does that. But then every 10 seconds, it restarts. So that's what we're doing right here. But our end goal is every 60 seconds, it's going to restart. And people can right click on this to change the color of the glass. And after 60 seconds, it's going to go ahead and tell them whoever colored the most amount of glass. And so we're almost done with that. Then also, whenever a band player joins, which they can still technically join, they just can't leave the hub or do anything or talk. So that way they can click on an appeal link once that's there. But we're going to have band players join in there so people can just sit there and laugh at them because they broke the rules. That's the idea. So we'll be testing that out. And so if anyone wants to get banned and then unbanned, we can test that out soon. So here we have access to the name. We're going to say int amount equals 0, or int amount equals clicked.get or default, name 0. And then I want to say clicked.set. Whoops, it's put, right? Okay, there it is. Name plus plus amount. So there's that. But then right here, we're going to want to see who clicked the most amount of blocks and then eventually clear this. Hey Darkstorm, welcome to the stream. Okay, so we're going to, every 60 seconds, we're going to go ahead and clear this. And I'm not sure if we want to update like the action bar. Obviously, we don't want to use chat for every single time they clicked on this because that's going to get really spammy. But we might want to use the action bar saying you've colored, whoops, that's weird. Saying you colored however many things of glass. So that's just going to be right above here. So we can go ahead and do that. Let's see if I remember how to do that. So we already have access to the amount and we're incrementing it here. So that means amount at this stage is still going to be the new amount. So I'll actually look for an example that I use in this entire project for the action bar API.send duration. Okay, we can go ahead and just do this right here. So we're going to send it to the player. So we actually still want to get access to the player here. So we can say player equals this. And then the message is going to be message.color. We could then say you have colored and var plus amount plus X pieces of glass. And then duration, I don't know if this is seconds or ticks. I'm assuming ticks, but I could be wrong. It is ticks, okay. So we're just gonna do this for 20 ticks because it should update and we don't want it to always be there. Maybe 20 times 2, I don't know. So with that said, it's gonna tell us how many we've colored here. And it's going to actually update this. Colored buttons on the egg that change color. Travis, what do you mean exactly? Let's see here. You've colored this amount of pieces of glass. And then here at this stage, we're going to then loop through all of the players and we're going to see who has the most. Let's actually make sure that this works here, because this will update it. We haven't tested this. Let's test one thing at a time. Okay, I'm going to be returning the hub here in a second. Well, at least we can say clicked.clear. All right, so if you're on the hub, you should be kicked here soon, but I'll move you beforehand. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy this. Okay, hub's restarting, and then we'll see if we can click on it. Almost done here. So now this will reset every 60 seconds, so we should be able to actually like click on it and color the egg, and then the action bar should update. I can never join the hub. There it is. There we go. So if you guys want to join the hub and right click on this, some of you can and can't fly, so reach the ones you can. Oh, it's all glitchy on the action bar. Interesting. Okay, we'll have to look into that. But you can go ahead and click on this, and then every 60 seconds it should clear. So I'm not sure why the duration is glitchy. Like that should be 2 seconds. But if I click once, I guess it's there for 2 seconds, yeah. It's just when I click it multiple times. Oh wait, now it's working fine. It was glitchy for a second. Oh, it's whenever it was, I understand now, I understand. So with that said, maybe we just don't have a duration, it just overwrites itself. Okay. And then, I don't know if it's been a minute yet, /lag. Okay, it should have been a minute. So I'm assuming this has already reset, but we'll see if it happens again. Oh wait, there's an exception in the console. That's a problem. That seems unrelated. That is definitely unrelated. Okay. So once it hits 20 seconds from now, so you can do /lag. Anyone can do this to view some things, such as the uptime. In 2 minutes, or 20 seconds rather, so at 2 minutes, it should actually reset. We'll see if it happens. There we go. So at that stage, now if I click, it's going to say I colored 1. This actually could be made easier. Let's see here. Glass colored and var plus amount. That seems much easier. I'll use OVH. Currently, this is just a simple, like, 8 GB VPS, but once we get closer to launching, I'll be upgrading to probably a 32 or something larger. We'll see. But right now, this is fine just for development. I did not. I'm not sure if someone else did, though. Okay. So now when it comes to getting the most amount, I don't really want to display like a leaderboard type thing. So I don't think like sorting it makes the most sense. I think I'm just going to loop through it once and then see what is the best. So before we clear this, we're just going to say string winner, and we can set this to null, I guess, and then int most equals 0, and then we can loop through all of the entries of the hash map. So we're going to say map.entry, we're going to have string integer, and we're going to say entry, and we're going to loop through clicked.entry set. One second. Okay, a bug was reported to me that I'll probably fix soon. Okay, so what I want to do here now is we're looping through this, and we're basically just going to say if, well, let's actually get access to name equals entry.getKey, and then int amount equals entry.getValue. And then we can say if amount is greater than most, we can basically say winner equals name, and then most equals amount. At the end, we essentially just want to loop through all the players that are inside of here and then let them know what happened. I don't think we want a global announcement here because some people might be like elsewhere doing their own thing and not care that someone clicked on this. But if no one's doing this and one person clicks on it, it's going to do an entire like hub announcement saying that someone got 1. Like no one cares, I don't think. So we're only going to do that if they have actually clicked on it during that minute. So let's loop through all the players real quick. And then we'll say if clicked dot, what was it? Contains key. That's what it was. Player.getName. We can then say message.send to player. Let's actually send 2 messages. This one's like a blank 1, just so there's like a spacing. And I think we have to add in a space inside, so it's not just, hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is. So with Badlion Client, if you send a blank message, it will not display. So if I want to add in, like the rest right here, the extra lines to make it so this message stands out as easier to read, then I have to make sure that there's a space there. So now what I want to do is the blank messages will be converted to actually just a space, just so it's easier to read. And then we can add in the winner, colored the most glass, with colored, let's see here, and var plus most, and then and x glass. And then we also want to tell them how many they had. You had and var, and then let's add in clicked.getPlayer.getName. And let's also see, we don't want to send this to the actual winner. So we're going to say if not player.getName.equals winner. Because that makes no sense. If I won with 10, I don't want to say the winner, like I won with 10, you had 10. That makes no sense. So we're only going to send this to people who are not the winner. And it actually might be easier if we compare this against, let's see here. Int amount equals clicked.get player.getName. And so with that said, we might want to actually do if amount is less than or equal to most. You had amount. That seems better than a string check by a slight difference. Probably nitpicking here. Okay, so there's that. And then let's go ahead and just say effectutil.play sound, player, level up, I guess. So it's going to basically be an audio cue that the game has been over, that the game's over there. And then we're going to clear it right here. That should be good to go. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to get rid of this command because we no longer need it. And if you're in the hub, you will be kicked soon. So go to KPP. However, I will send everyone in a few seconds. Let me just, before I do that, make sure that my deployment system is working. And then let's go ahead and build this. So now whenever you're coloring things, the action bar, I'm not sure how that's going to work because, okay, wait, I think that works fine. I'm not sure if I restarted since that change. I think I did. Never mind. I think it's still a little glitchy, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to send everyone to KPP, and then I'm going to restart the hub. It will take a few seconds to restart. I also need to make it so the auto respawn works. I'm not sure why that's not working. Join hub. I'm not sure why I didn't just do /hub. All right, so this should now work. Let's see what the action bar does. Okay, that seems fine. I just can't specify its own duration because it's updating so much. And so I think that behind the scenes with their API, it might automatically like start a task for like 2 seconds or something like that, and then clear it. And so they all kind of queue up basically. So if you guys want to go ahead and click on this, we also need to make sure they didn't click on the same block. But we'll deal with that later. So let's see here. How would I deal with that? I think a map with a list of blocks might be excessive, but that might be what we have to do if we actually want that. But I think we're putting too much, that we're caring too much about this like little mini game. 228 glass, you got 72. Okay, so that seems to work. So you guys can go ahead and play this. Obviously, you're probably gonna get bored of it fairly quickly, but it's something. It's something you can do at least. And I think there was a bug with Parkour when it comes to not removing all the information from the hash maps once the player leaves. We'll be looking at that. So let's see here. What's the IP? It's in the description. It is also mc.blockblast.net, and I will pin this message here. Just want to say you're doing a great job streaming. Thanks. Yeah, things seem to be going somewhat well. Okay. So we have the parkour here, and I think the problem was that things weren't properly being removed from hash maps. Okay, so I had 26. So in a minute, if you guys want to keep doing that, which it seems like you are, and then in a minute, hopefully I will not get that message because I'm not in the hash map anymore. So I'm not going to click anything, and we'll see what happens. Then let's also go ahead and fix the parkour real quick. I know that we had some bugs on the first day of streaming with parkour, but there's just one more, and I'm pretty sure I know the problem. We're going to go servers, hub. Oh, wait, it's not in here. It's actually, let me actually go to the hub main class, and here we're creating a parkour. We can go to this class right here. So where are we storing information? Counters, stages, current checkpoints. So where's like a player quit event? Or a player leave event? Whatever wants a custom one. So whenever we're stopping the parkour, we're just calling this, and if they are a player, we're then going to get their name, remove it from counters and stages, but I don't think we're removing the checkpoints. Current checkpoints. So here's start, here's restart, here's stop. Okay, we're moving it here. I'm not sure what's up with that then. Interesting. Well, I think we'll eventually come back to this. I feel like I need to focus on more important things at the moment. Okay, so Manhunt is down. I'm assuming this heading has already restarted again since I've previously mentioned that, and if so, that is working when it comes to the check to see. Now we need to make it so band players join in there, but we'll probably do that soon. What to do now? We probably could try some Manhunt things. And then hopefully the next stream or two we can actually do speed bridging, but we probably won't be there today because we need an actual build for it that me and some friends are thinking of. So I'm going to start up a Manhunt server. Why is there no pointer exception? Oh, that's something else. Okay, I understand. And then if anyone wants to help try testing Manhunt, that's what we're going to be doing here in a second. Hopefully we'll see it pop up here in the menu automatically. So this is going to be Manhunt 1 gigabyte, 255.85, I guess. So hopefully we'll see this pop up. And then at that point, we can go ahead and join Manhunt and try it out. Just generating the world. And then we'll be able to join and see what happens. I think the current things that need done with Manhunt is making sure that if someone's not on a team, that they're default to one of them. I'm not sure which yet. Maybe I'll just randomly select one that has the least amount of people. And then that'll fix the bug of people starting the game without a team. So once you guys join Manhunt with join Manhunt 1, I'm going to do an alert. Once you guys join Manhunt, make sure to click on one of the wool, depending if you want to be a runner or a hunter. The runner's goal is to try and kill the Ender Dragon. The hunter's goal is to try and kill people who are trying to kill the Ender Dragon. And then also keep in mind that some things will be fixed. Clicking the wall doesn't do anything. You might already be in the team. Yeah, you're in the green team. So try clicking the red wall and you'll see it actually says something. Oh wait, it doesn't say anything. Okay, so you look at the tab list. So keep in mind that there will be like a lobby in here because people with ranks can fly before the game starts. And so for now, I probably should just teleport everyone back to the spawn point. But eventually there'll be like a proper lobby that people can't like fly away from because the runners right now could just like fly away if they have ranks. Yeah, it is a premium server and it won't be a cracked or offline server at all. So if you guys do want to join, click on the chest in the inventory in the hub, or go ahead and do /join space manhunt 1. So if you haven't clicked on the wool yet, make sure you do. Either green or red. And so hopefully the people who are picking green have a good idea of what to do to basically beat Minecraft as fast as possible. And the people who click red, the hunters, they're going to have 60 seconds of slowness and blindness, so you have a head start. However, hunters will get a compass, and they can click on it to cycle through the players, which, if you guys are a hunter, please try. Let me know if you have any bugs. That's what we finished on last night's stream, is the compass you can click on to cycle through things. 1.16 won't technically work here, I don't think. I think it's 1.8 through 1.15, but it will eventually be 1.16. Okay, so hunters have unlimited lives, their blindness for 60 seconds, and they do have a compass they can click on to cycle through people. The runners, who are green, try and beat the game as fast as you can. You have 1 life. If you die, you're out. .8 doesn't work now? Are you on Java Edition or Bedrock? I'm assuming Java because of the version numbers are the same. But it's mc.blockblast.net. 1.8.9. Yes, sorry about that. Okay, so we just have 10 seconds here as the hunters, and then we get to go try and kill all the runners. Wait, can we break things before? I think we could break things beforehand. That's a very minor thing. I also need to update the auto crafting so it supports wooden tools. Session not valid. Try restarting your game. So we're going to be able to use the compass to go hunt down people. And there'll be some people who aren't prepared that we're just going to try and kill before they get iron armor, I guess. Oh, another thing I forgot to fix is the food. That's an important thing. There's no food at the moment. What? I must not understand that type of wood works with that. So if anyone finds any bugs when just playing the game naturally, please let me know. Tag me in the chat or message me, tag me in Discord or something. Like the autocraft thing. Yeah, that's something that I don't really like crafting in Minecraft, even though it's... Where'd my boat go? Did I not pick it up? Oh, I think it broke. Never mind. I don't really like crafting Minecraft. I don't think it's like the most engaging thing in the thing in the game. So this was made originally for an SG and UHC server I was making earlier this year. And so at this stage, oh, hello. What? That's not good. Oh, that's also not good. I shouldn't spawn here. Hold on. Don't kill me. I'm gonna try fixing that. I thought I fixed that last night, but I guess not. So let's go into manhunt, events. It is a premium server, yes. So you will have to have an actual Minecraft account to play. Am I not listening to player respawn? Okay, that's probably why. Public void on player respawn. Player respawn event. Let's get access to the player. Spelled correctly. And then if hunters dot is on team player, we then basically want to say events dot set respawn location. Want to get access to the first world dot get worlds dot get 0 dot get spawn location. Now again, we do want to make sure that the spawn location isn't always way up in the air. And I think that's only going to happen. Oh, wait a second. What was that? Okay, that's fine. I think it's only going to happen, yeah, if it's not in game. So if I go to the hub and come back, join Manhunt 1. Yeah, so now I'm stuck in the ground. So with that said, maybe we can say minigame is not null. Okay, so that should always be the case, but just to make sure. And then we're going to set y depending on if the minigame is in-game. So if it's in-game, we're going to say 1, or maybe, no wait, lock.getY plus 1. We'll try that. Otherwise 250. Although in theory this doesn't make sense to do this. Doesn't make sense at all. Why not just say lock.getY plus 1 just in general. There we go. So in that case, we don't actually need access to the minigame. We're just going to try spawning them one block higher, maybe like 1.5. So now we can try this out. I'm not sure if people want to actually... can I... Okay. Why am I so far down? Maybe I should take the spawn location and just keep increasing it until I find air. If there are no animals at the moment, that'll be fixed soon. So let's see here. While lock.getBlock.getType is not equal to air, we then want to say lock equals lock.add 0, 1, 0. So that shouldn't be too bad. It's hopefully max case scenario is going to be looping like a few times. So that shouldn't be too bad. So now what? Hey, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. The server will not be non-premium. It will always be a premium server, so you will have to have an actual Minecraft account to play. Okay. So this seems scary, but in reality, this is never going to actually loop up more than a few times. Let's see here. Is there team chat? No. Let me actually... I should probably make a to-do list somewhere. Team chat is something that was requested. I probably should make that built into the team system. And also when I join, I get these items again, which is not ideal. I want to make it so if you join late, you become a spectator. And that should be a thing that is easily done here. Players have 1 life is false. Set can join while starting. I'm not sure why. Hold on, we might have to actually get access to the minigame here. Network.getMinigame. Now, if the minigame is not going to be null ever. This class will never be registered unless we're inside Manhunt, which is a minigame. And so at this stage, what do we want to do? We want to see if the game has started and if they are a hunter. I don't think we're actually removing people from the hunter's team whenever they leave. Where did I actually... Team handler. Remove when quit equals false. Am I ever setting that to true anywhere? I don't think so. So they're still technically in the hunter's team. So what I can do is... Let's see. Where's the team? Oh, team's right here. Events. Team join events. Perhaps we can have a give items event. Give team items event. And then this can be something that we can just cancel in certain situations. We're not going to ask for a team because that doesn't technically matter. Maybe it does, actually. We'll just keep it like that. This needs to have a lowercase I, so Shift F6, give team item event. Now at this stage, we're going to call this whenever they're actually supposed to get the items from the team handler. And in this case, that means that we can just cancel the event if the game's already started. And also, before I forget, I want to make it so whenever the game starts, player respawn on post game start. We're looping all the players here. no matter what team they are, so outside this if statement, we want to give them some food. So player.getInventory.add new item stack. Cooked beef 64. You'll get 64. That should be enough there. You joined late and became a spectator. Okay, that's actually useful to know. Because I rejoined and I'm not a spectator. Actually, that's expected because I was already part of the game. So it's useful to know that you joined late and you became a spectator. So now with that said, I just need to make it so these items don't go into the inventory of people who join late. I don't have to work with the spectating. I'm confused. I'm making a teleportation command. So what do you want for the teleportation command to do? Also, when it comes to making Minecraft plugins while learning Java, that's how I learned, and I highly suggest that you learn at least the basic fundamentals of Java before you start learning Minecraft development. I do have a playlist on YouTube that does go through most of the fundamentals. That's a good starting point. If you want to watch another series on YouTube, that's also a good starting point. If you're more of a written learner, like reading articles or tutorials, you can just Google some. But I would suggest at least spending like a week or two learning like the bare basics, like the essentials of Java before you dive into Bucket. You have all the spectator items. Does that include the wool? Or do you just have like the teleport and fly speed and stuff like that? I'm hoping it does not include the wool. Either way, it should be fine because I'm going to be fixing that anyway. Okay, so here I'm going to give people food. Just a temporary fix. Eventually there will be actual items or actual mobs you have to kill. So now let's see here. On player join, we basically want it so whenever we're going to actually give them access to the items, which is where? Player join right here. So we're going to call this. So we're going to say give team item events. We're going to name it the full thing because we don't want to interfere with this event name. Give team item event. We're going to pass in the player, which now we're going to have access to twice. So we're going to gain access to it here, event.getPlayer, only whenever we need it. And then we can pass in player and the team, which is going to be entry.getValue. So we're going to gain access to this equals entry.getValue. And then we can use that here. And then we can also use the player variable here instead of just event.getPlayer. So now we're going to run this with buckets.getPluginManager.callEvent, give team event. And then if not, give team item event is canceled. Then we want to give them the items here. So now we can actually cancel this whenever we don't want to give them the items. For example, instead of doing /tp user1 user2, I want to do /bring user1 and go to user1. So with that, you would get the arguments, the first argument, which would be index 0, and you would try and get the name. I'm not going to go into the exact details because it's useful if you try and use the concepts to Google, but you get the name, the player from the name. And then you would teleport the command sender, once you assure it's a player, to the target once you got the player from the name. That's the basic idea there. How many languages do I know? Only a couple. It's more important that you know a couple languages very well rather than a lot of languages. So I know JavaScript and Java fairly well. I've been using them for years. And then obviously I know like web languages like HTML and CSS, but those aren't really programming languages. So here we're going to call this event. We're going to give them the stuff if it's not canceled. Now we have a chance to cancel it. Where do we want to cancel it? On player join. Actually, we want to listen to this event. So public void, let's see here, on give team items. So if this is the case, we want to gain access to the minigame. We don't actually need this in player join events. We're going to say if minigame.getGameState.is in-game, we're going to say event.setCancel true. So that means once the game is started, you're not going to join with your items. So the wool that allows you to change teams. So there's that. That fixes that. We also fixed the food problem. Yeah, the food problem will be fixed soon. It seems like this game is wrapping up, so I'm actually going to restart this, and hopefully we should have enough food. I'm actually going to give everyone 2 stacks, because I don't know how long this is going to last. It seems excessive. I'd rather give you 2 stacks rather than everyone die. We'll just do that twice. I still don't understand this exception we were experiencing last night. I'm not going to deal with that right now, though. Everything else seems to be working for the most part. Let's see here. What else do I want to change? I think everything else is still working. So we're giving them food. Let's just rely on the people actually clicking the wool, because I think most people are playing the game or watching the stream, so they're going to understand to click the wool. And then I'm giving them, okay, so I'm giving them food, and we're going to test if I'm a hunter. If I die, I should actually respawn now, because of this right here. Because actually, this should be the highest priority. So it happens last because there's 5 different priorities, not including monitor, which happens after everything. So at a lower priority, I'm actually setting the respawn location to something else, because I'm assuming they're going to become a spectator. So in this case, they're not going to become a spectator because we're preventing that right here with this event handler if they're a hunter. So in this case, if they're still a hunter, we want to teleport them to the actual spawn location. And that actually might be a problem, because on join, we're trying to teleport them one higher. I feel like I should actually do this. I should change the spawn location and not just listen to on join. So we're going to completely get rid of that, because that means that they're just going to suffocate once they respawn. What IDE do I use? This is IntelliJ. Okay, so manhunt. Here I want to gain access to the spawn location. So the first one's going to access to the world. World equals bucket.get worlds. Whoops. .get 0. So now we have access to the world. We're going to get the spawn location. Location lock equals world.get spawn location. Then we're going to say while lock.getBlock.getType is not equal to air, lock equals lock.add 0, 1, 0. And at this stage, we can say world.set spawn location, lock.getBlockX, lock.getBlockY, lock.getBlockZ. Whoops. There we go. So whenever the server starts up, we're going to ensure that there is air that you are spawning in, because for some reason with these worlds, we're spawning sometimes in the ground. Very often in the ground, actually. You're new to my YouTube channel, but what text editor is that? This is IntelliJ. It is a Java IDE, and welcome to the channel. So here we're going to get access to the world, we're going to location, we're going to ensure it is air, and this is also better for performance, because we're not going to do this every single time that someone joins. We're just doing this once. And that means we can just access the spawn location and know that it is above ground. Okay, so this seems to be okay. We're going to be restarting here in a second. So if you're in the game, then that means that you will be kicked and sent to the hub. And we're going to try again. Let's go ahead and build this. Okay, so that's deployed. I'm going to restart Manhunt. We should be sent to the hub. And then once it's done, it will take a few seconds to generate the worlds, because, oh, I forgot. Actually, once it's starting up, let me cancel that. I'm actually going to change some of the things. Let me move this over here because no one can see the IPs. We want to look for, is it in here? Allow nether is true. And then also we want to edit bucket YML for allow end. Okay, that's also true. So now we have access to that. The nether was actually closed. And here's actually our problem here with the spawn limits. What is the default? Let's just set this to like 50 on everything. We can adjust that if need be. I don't even know if this is the actual problem, because it could be in our plugin. But we're going to go ahead and try spinning up the server again. And I'm going to move this over here so people don't see players' IPs. But the Manhunt server is restarting. It's going to generate 3 worlds, so it might take a few seconds. But once that's done, we can join and try Manhunt one more time. How are you hosting this? And are you building the server or just the rules? When it comes to hosting, I'm using an OVH VPS, just a simple 8 GB one. I'll be upgrading closer to launch so we have more room. And I'm trying to build everything about the server, aside from the builds and the artwork. Those things I'm horrible at, so most, if not all, user-facing functionality is done through custom plugins. And this is a plugin core that I've been working on since 2014. And unfortunately, when I first made it, I made everything in one giant jar. So I've been slowly pulling out bits and pieces, such as command handlers and things like that, to put into their own repos. But for now, we have this giant jar that we're working with. Okay, we should be able to join Manhunt. Okay. This could be better, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose. So we're testing for hunters. When they die, they should be sent back to the spawn area. When they leave and come back, they shouldn't have the items anymore. I'm also curious to see what happens whenever they join and if it resets the player. That's another bug we have to fix, because some people might reconnect. And then we also need to make sure that you spawn with 2 stacks of cooked beef, I believe. And then that should fix the food problem. We also hopefully will see actual mob spawning. And if anyone's able to get to the nether, please let me know, because I did enable that. I want to make sure that actually worked. I actually could just check the actual server. Okay, we do have the nether and the end, but those might be differently named. We'll see if that works. So if someone gets to the nether, please let me know. Again, if you want to play, join and click on the compass in the hub and click on the chest. It should be the manhunt server, or you can do /join space manhunt1. That sends you into this game where we're about to test this. Make sure you click on a wool to join a team. And then the game should start once we hit 10 people, and if we're waiting too long, I'll just manually start it. I'm not sure if I'm lagging or if the server's lagging a little bit. It does have very limited amount of RAM because it's just a development box. I'm not spending a bunch of money on it for the best performance. So do expect some lag here and there. Server's lagging? Yeah. Hopefully there's probably a TPS problem. Once it actually detects a change in TPS, it will probably see it there. Might be occurring because people are running around loading chunks, and we'll probably get worse once the game starts because people will actually be moving around. Okay, we're going to start this here in a few seconds, so if you haven't joined yet, make sure to join, use the compass, and click on the chest, or do /join space manhunt1, and also make sure you click on a team. So if you're on the green team, your goal is to try and beat the game. Let me know if you get to the nether. If you're on the red team, your goal is to try and kill those players. Red players have a compass to track them down, and unlimited lives. Green players only have 1 life, but the green players get a 60-second head start. I got 10 seconds here. Okay, cool. We get the actual food, so now we shouldn't actually die. Let's see if I can move over to a tree so I can get some... Wait, can I break things first? Okay, I can. Oh no. I've messed up. Wait, I can just free myself by just breaking the blocks. Because I can't jump. Well, this is interesting. Let's see if I can find a tree. I probably should patch this. Oh man. How much longer do I have? 20 seconds? Probably not worth it to like do all this. There's probably no trees on the beach. Oh, there's grass. There's hope. There we go. Okay, so now our goal is to try and kill the people in green. Hey, thank you for the $2. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Okay, let's move this over here. Whoops. So the goal here is to kill the green players, so let's try and do that. Okay, here's this. Whoops. I need more stone. Autocraft gives them a ton of items. Oh, that's right. That was reported yesterday. I'll look into that soon. Some parts of it are open source. Most will not be. Oh, yeah, that's right. That gave me 2 there. I'll have to look into that. Maybe there's multiple events being registered. Oh wait, I need that. There we go. All right. Are they separated? Multiple over here. One is that way. Okay. Hello. All right, so let's go this way. Glad you like the Discord series. Oh wait, do you guys need... There's trees and stuff, you can make boats. You lost your compass? Wait, did you die? Did you die and is that why you lost everything? Oh, that's right, the compass... Okay. So you died and you lost the food and the compass. So we need to, for now, give players stuff. It seems like animals are not spawning. So for now, we need to give them stuff on respawn. So where is this? Like the Exxon developers, where are we? Just going to copy and paste this code right here. I'm not sure if this happens directly when they're after they respawn or what. We'll try it. And then you lost your compass. So if you're a hunter, wants to also give them the compass. So wait, where's player join? Oh, it's just there. Post game start. Here's the compass. We're going to make this its own method. So we're going to cut this out. We're going to say give compass. We're going to pass in the player. So let's see. Let's now move up here. Let's say private void give compass. We're going to now pass in a player. What other information do we need? We need a target. So I think that's string target. And now we need to pass in the target. And then let's just copy this, and then on respawn, we also want to do this. Where the index is just 0. We're just using one place. We're just going to pass in 0. So that should work, I think. We'll see. Oh, Nikki's here. Thanks that she's the one I'm tracking. 1 second. Excellent. I think so. Yep. I think that you should be a spectator now. I'm not going for that stuff. That's way down there. Wait, staff here. Okay, yeah. So she became a spectator. So that works. Once I get to land, I'm going to try reconnecting, going to the hub and coming back, and seeing if I get the items, or if I keep what I currently have. I'm hoping that everything stays the same, as if you just logged into a normal server. So we'll see what happens. So /hub, and then join man hunt 1. That's not how you spell that. Okay. So that's a problem. I still keep the stuff, but it's teleport to the spawn. I'll have to look into that. All right. Let's see here. So this is the thing there, and then on player join. Where am I ever like teleporting them to the spawn point on player join? I thought I removed that. So I'm not sure if that's happening elsewhere. I'm gonna have to go hunt that down. Interesting. So it seems like we didn't get stuck on the block, but hopefully, well, we won't ever see that again because of this code. I'm also not sure why I'm being... What other type of options do I have here? Clear inventory on starting. That should be true. Well, that's not what I want. Set clear inventory on starting true. I don't think I was doing that beforehand. So maybe I was doing it manually? Oh well. That's fine. We'll just keep it like that. So what am I doing next? That's right. I was looking at the different flags we have within here. Restart with 1 player left. No, players have 1 life. I thought that's a false because I'm manually checking some things there. So maybe that is a problem. Use spectator chat channel is true. Can join while starting. Interesting. Maybe it's under the bazillion options we have in Pro plugin. This will take a few seconds to look through. Okay. Dropping items for level change, picking up items, item spawning, building, health regen. I think I'm resetting all of these whenever the game first starts. So it actually shouldn't be a problem with either of those things. Game start, remove flags. We're also resetting the flags in there. I'm not sure why these things are inside the main class, because those are events. These can just go right in here. There we go. We can say network.getminigame.resetFlags. And then let's say message.alerts this and this. And perhaps we want to play a sound. Effect util.play sound. Sound dot explode. We'll see how people feel about that. Just so if someone's like AFK and know the game started. What's with the random holograms when holding a sword? What do you mean? How would I recreate that? Just stop now. Oh, was it like particles wherever I was looking? If so, that's a bad line client thing. I'm not sure how to turn it off. For those of you watching who are still playing, have you been able to get to the Nether yet? Because I want to make sure that that works. It seemed like the world was generated, so it should work, but I just want to double check. I guess in theory I could just make another portal, but I'm going to be fixing this real quick. That needs changing. That's fine though. Let's see here. So I'm definitely listening for a player join and teleporting them to the spawn location somewhere. And that's a problem. Let's listen for, do I have player join event here? Okay, now am I ever teleporting this player to the spawn location? It seems like I am right here. Okay, so if the game is starting, we're going to teleport them to the spawn location. Otherwise, I think this is it right here. This is not the best solution, but just for now, I'm going to say else if networks.getPlugin is not equal to manhunt. That might fix it there. That way, at least I know what the problem is, and I can then restart. So, who here is currently playing manhunt and actually trying? I'm going to teleport to some people. I'm not going to actually kill anyone, obviously. Why can I not? What? Oh, that would explain it. Okay, so you seem like you're actually playing. And so do you. Okay, have you guys got to the Nether yet? Yeah, I don't know if anyone's like actually hunting anyone. Might be. Okay, so I'm not sure why the animal spawning doesn't work. I changed the actual configurations. Let's see. Am I doing anything in here? Allow item spawning, allow default mob spawning. Should be true. So under manhunt, this extends minigame, which should give us access to allow default mob spawning to be true. That might fix it. So now I think this will work. I think I'm going to restart the server. I don't know how many people are actually playing. It seems like all of the people who are trying to hunt people down are not playing, and all the people who are running are playing. So I'm just going to restart the server because it seems like the runners are going to win given enough time. So if you are on, you'll be sent to the hub here soon. Let me just get my deployment system ready. Go ahead and build this. Then I'm going to restart here in a second. So on the next go around, we're going to test to see if you get your compass and your food whenever you respawn. Oh wait, did I make that only for hunters? Whenever you join, or whenever you respawn. Oh, whoops. That's not good. Hold on, good thing I thought of that. I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild this. So we're actually gonna redeploy and then I'll restart. So at this stage, what we're trying to do is making sure that whenever hunters die, they still respawn with their food and their compass. So the food is just always be there, just because the mobs are broken at the moment. We're also going to try and make sure that what are the things that I fix? Players that join and leave back will spawn at the same location, and this is a bad check. I should do this in a better way with some type of configurable like flag or something, but I'm just going to do a plugin check for now. Then also maybe this will fix the mob spawning. So those are the things we're going to try out. So it seems like that deployed. I'm going to go ahead and restart the server. So those watching who are familiar with Manhunt, do you think there should be a world border to prevent players from just running thousands of blocks away and making it a very long game mode? Okay, still generating the worlds, and then we can give it another go. There's an exception. On-time event sign 164. Okay. So hunters. Why is that occurring? Wait, is someone in there that's a hunter, but there's no runners? That would be why. Okay. So we need to make sure whenever we're going to access the runners that they actually exist. So this entire thing here should only run if and not runners.isEmpty. empty. Whoops. Runners. Wait, am I getting access? Oh. If runners.isEmpty, empty, we're going to return. Is there going to be a scoreboard showing team sizes? Yes, there will be a scoreboard soon. There'll be a scoreboard in all the different games and servers. But for now, I will probably add that once we get the rest of this stuff fixed. It will be useful. All right, so if you're on, go ahead and join using the hub. Go to the compass and click on the chest. Or you can do /join space manhunt1. So we're testing to see if whenever a hunter dies, if they respawn with food and their compass, and then also when a hunter respawns, do they... I don't know what happens when a runner respawns. I'm assuming nothing changes. Hopefully it's the same for both. So when either of them respawn, or reconnect, I should say, like go to the hub and come back or something like that, then it will actually be the same exact thing as if when they logged off. Now, when it comes to the runners who have 1 life, I might want to make it so they have 5 minutes to reconnect. So if they get disconnected due to internet problems, they can still play the game, but they can't just log off just to avoid someone killing them and then just ruin the game. Playtime scoreboard in the hub. I might. I want to make sure that the scoreboards aren't like cluttered with a bunch of information. I believe you can view that inside the profile item, and I think that it doesn't really view it in the easiest way possible, but I will be improving that. is this code going to be uploaded? Some parts of it will be open source, but for the most part, it will not be. As I improve different utilities and features that will be like their own like standalone plugin utilities for other developers to use, such as the command system is already open source, and some performance things are already open source as well. But when it comes to most of the game modes, those will remain closed source. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the game. Full new features in your last live. Keep up with the astonishing work. Thanks. Glad you like them. There's probably going to be more of those types of live streams because there was a lot more viewers there than before for like the Minecraft ones. And so I'm going to be trying to balance the two. And my goal at this stage was already for the Minecraft server to always be like live. But when it comes to Warn Off Keys commands, I might also just always be live when I'm working on it, just so I can get community feedback quicker. Okay, so runners need to go, and hunters need to, for some reason, still break blocks. I forgot to fix that. Well, it's kind of annoying to be blind. I feel like I might make it so once we do have a lobby for this, that you just can't leave the lobby. But I'm just going to get some resources while it's still here. We have around 30 seconds left. So I don't think Mike joined the team. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. He might be able to attack either team, actually. Just 14 seconds left. Maybe I should decrease this because 60 seconds is a lot. I don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and try hunting some people down. Again, if you're a runner and you're watching the stream and you're able to go to the nether, please let me know. Also need to make it so... Whoops, that's not what I wanted. So the auto craft will work with wooden tools. That's not what I want. There's the stone, okay. Why is there an exception spamming? Team handler. Oh, it's probably because Mike isn't on a team, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm going to try respawning here in a minute. Once I get some essentials here. That not give me... Oh, I need more sticks to make a shovel. There we go. Okay, so there's that. You missed joining? Well, if that's what you mean, then we're probably going to be restarting a couple more times. You died, but you still have the 2 stacks of steak. Mike, if you're watching, are you a spectator right? Oh, no, why am I asking that? It's a spectator in the chat. So if you have the 2 stacks of steak, okay, I need to look into that. That's actually a fairly simple fix here. So where am I giving them the steak? Game start and player respawn. So in this case, we want to ensure that the player is not a spectator. So if not spectator handler dot contains player, that should fix that problem right there. Okay. So let me see here. I'm going to go right on this block here, and I'm going to go to the hub and come back. Manhunt 1. Again, I misspelled it. Manhunt 1. Okay, that's not good. I'm still being teleported to the wrong spot, so I'll have to look somewhere in the giant code base to see where that's happening. Because it should spawn you exactly where you were. Now, let's see, if I die, do I get my compass and things? I probably shouldn't have gone through all the effort of getting all the tools if I'm just going to die. Forgot about that. Okay, cool, so that works. So there's that. I still have the food. Let's see here. One second. am I being tagged? Okay. Okay, so let's see. So that works. Let's go ahead and see if the nether works. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so we're in the nether. The nether works. That's good. Almost died there, but we're still alive. So that works. We don't have any mobs anywhere still. So that fix did not work. I'm really not sure why that's happening, because we changed the server configuration. And we changed the other thing. So we need to make sure, why are mobs not spawning? And also, like, even friendly mobs aren't spawning. And also, why do we always spawn back at the world spawn? Okay, so I think that this entire base could be really easily extendable to speedrunning. We just like remove the team system, or rather we have speedrunning and then Manhunt extends speedrunning, and then we add in the team system in the extended class. Because there's a lot of similarities here, and a lot of the bugs we're fixing will probably be bugs there as well. You missed it? Oh yeah, we're going to be restarting here probably fairly soon. I just need to figure out why are players spawning, like joining at the spawn point. And then, what else was it? So why are players joining the spawn point? There's another thing. Well, we'll start with that. So let's look for all player join events. So player vanish, bold events, mobs. Awesome. Okay, thank you. So hub events, hub item base, sidebar. A lot of these seem like they're not going to be relevant. Let me actually see if I'm... Okay, probably easier. Get world spawn. What was the actual thing? Where is it? Get spawn location. Okay, we only have a couple options here. This on the server. Wait, am I clicking on the... Does that care what thing I'm clicking on? Apparently it does. We have a lot more options here. So it's one of these things when it comes to whenever you die or whenever you reconnect, you teleport to the spawn point instead of where you just were. So we're manually doing that because obviously that's not built into Minecraft. So we got to figure that out. Skyblock events is not going to be one of those. It could be here. Let's take a look at this. So on player join. If reset players upon joining, we don't want to do this. I don't think this is actually true though. Set reset players upon joining false. I think that that's not a thing, but I'm just going to do that here just in case. Let's do another search just to make sure we're not missing anything. Leave item, minigame events is possibly that. That's on game waiting. What is this? Can I expand this? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. So let's go to the minigame events. That's game waiting event. What is this? Player join event. It could be this. No, it can't be this. The game is not starting, so that's definitely not the case. And then this check here makes it so it's not manhunt. So it's not going to be that. What is this? This is player join event. Oh, that's the next one. Okay. What is this? Entity damage. That's not it. We're not taking void damage. Spectator handler. It's possible this is it. Player respawn event. This actually might be it here. It's a possibility. Let's look at... Did I just click on the wrong one? No, this is it. So the minigame is not null, which is true in our case. And players have one life, which... Oh wait, I think I disabled that. Players have one life is false. Okay, it's not here. Let's keep looking. Player join. If would spectate, it could be that. What is would spectate? Minigame is null, returning false. Otherwise, we're going to see if it's starting. Or if it's in-game. I mean, this is true. Would spectates. This could be the problem. Let's just, this is not the best solution. I'm going to come back and fix this, but for now, let's just see if this is a problem. Network.get plugin is exactly equal to manhunt. We're then going to return false. So let's check that. Let's also keep going. So we have two things, I believe. One was, let me close some of these excess files. One was it that one? Reset players upon joining. I think that was one of them, and now it's this. We're trying two things there. Let's keep looking. I think there was a couple more spectator ones. That's entity damage. There was that one, and then here's this. That's inventory click. And then the other ones are manhunt, which I'm pretty sure are not the case. Definitely not that one. And then here's player respawn, where... Wait. Oh, that's on respawning. That makes sense. And then when I'm looking for a join. It's not Skyblock, not daily rewards. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's one of those two things. So we have those two checks. We know the nether works. We know that respawning gives you your items as a hunter. So we have a few bugs fixed. Now let's see. Let's just focus for one thing at a time. We have the mobs, which we have to fix. We also have players reconnecting, not sending you to the spawn point. I mean, it should send you to where you just were. Like, nothing like else changed, like a default Minecraft server. So we need to make sure that that's a thing. So with that said, if you're watching, it will restart soon. I am going to go ahead and build this. Wait, let me actually start that up. Then I'm going to build this. And we'll see what happens here. Hopefully it's... Okay, it's deploying now. So if we're in the game, you're going to be sent to the hub here in a few moments. Just waiting for this to deploy. All right, there it is. Let's go ahead and restart. Also, players are spawning backwards. They're supposed to spawn this way. I'm not sure what's up with that. So that'll be negative 180. Let's fix that real quick. Server, servers, hub, events. That's why. There we go. That should fix it. So I'll restart that eventually. Let me actually do a restart server 2 minutes. That should give us enough time to... I'll send everyone to manhunt. So if you want to play manhunt, server starting up again. So we're going to make sure that when hunters reconnect, it actually might be a quick game, depending on how fast I find the mob solution. Because when hunters reconnect, they should be at the same location now, in theory. We'll see. Okay, so now I want to go to the Bungie server. Where's the Bungie server? There it is. Nope, that's up. Screen R, Bungie, send all manhunt 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and restart the hub real quick so we can try that test next time. All right, so now at this stage, if you're in the server, please select a team. And we'll see if whenever a hunter dies, so I'm going to select the hunter team. If a hunter dies, do they spawn, or when a hunter reconnects, are they the same location or at the world spawn? So we fixed the two possible things that could have caused it in theory. And so we'll see what happens there. Now, while we wait for that, so let's think about what could possibly be happening with the mobs. Let me double check that I edited the, let's see here, server properties. Spawn protection, spawn monsters is false. Let's change that to true. Spawn NPCs is true. Spawn animals is now true. Okay, so that's probably the problem there. It was in a different configuration file. So with that said, I might restart this real quick, just because I don't want to like. We could test two things at once. What? Why is everyone on the ground? Oh well. Did this restart? It did. We're still spawning the wrong way. I'll look into that eventually. The server is starting up right now, so we'll be checking that out here in a few moments. So if you do want to play Manhunt, join and click on the chest. You can join here in a few seconds. A beta rank might be implemented closer to launch. So that way I just have to give it to one group of people instead of giving it to everyone who joins. Okay, so go to the bungee screen, send all manhunt 1. And then let's see what happens. Okay, so if you're in here, please select a team. After this and the mobs, I guess we can add a scoreboard, and manhunt's mostly done at that point. When it comes to like the base functionality. And then we can basically just rename everything. Or we could do what I was saying earlier about making this like speed running, but just with some slight changes. Obviously, we don't have like the team system in speed running. You see pigs? Oh, look at that. That did work. Okay, so we now have actual mobs. So I'll have to remember to remove the stake. So before I forget, let me actually do that real quick. What file is this? Where is it? Here it is. So no more stake. Maybe we'll give them like 5 or something. And not when they respawn, only whenever they join, which is down here. There we go. So we'll give you 5 stake on join, just so you don't run out of food just for whatever reason. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. So hopefully as a hunter, when I reconnect, I shouldn't be teleported to the spawn. I should be where I last was. And then after that, we should have most of the major bugs fixed. What happens when I reconnect right here? Wait. Okay, I'm going to stand next to this tree. Oh, okay, it worked. Cool. We now have mobs, and we're no longer going back to the spawn. Okay. What? What just happened? I'm so confused. I like walked off something and died. Wait, did someone kill me? I know Travis just killed me right then, but did someone kill me before that? Okay. That seems like something that I'm not sure if I should do anything about that. Okay, so I think most of the major bugs are fixed. If I reconnect, I'm at the same location. We have mobs now. Nether works. The end works because we were there on day 1, I believe. Okay. So what should we do now? We could focus more on this. Or we could focus on a different game mode. Like, what do people want to see with kit PvP? Because I feel like that's more something that people can like be more engaged with than this at the moment. Skyblock. Yeah, Skyblock's gonna. There's a lot of work that has to do with Skyblock. I have a lot of really crazy ideas for it. I don't want to get into them right now, but I don't think we're gonna start Skyblock right now. That's something that I feel like might come last, just so everything else is done that's easier to make. So there's games to play whenever people want to like be on for beta testing. So when it comes to kit PvP, what changes do people want? Here, send all kit PvP 1. So what bugs are there? I think I was messaged one bug earlier. Let me actually go fix that. Close everything. Okay, game API, games, kit PvP, events. That's not what I want. Public events. King of the Hill. Okay. So the bug was that whenever you're flying over the Koth location that's selected, then it still gives you the point. So I have to check the Y coordinate. to see if you're below the spawn point. So here, y is greater than or equal to this dot block. Okay. And then when it comes to the lobby handler, can I gain access to, is there a certain y coordinate, or do I just have to, okay. Wait, when do I actually, where's the player drop down event? Events, drop down events. When is this actually used? Jumping off? Where's the coordinate? Am I blind? Probably. Y coordinate. What's the Y chord? Drop down lobby 104. Okay. So there's that. That's the lobby handler. So I can say public static final int y coord equals 104. And then here we can just pass in y coord. And then we can access that through lobby handler.y coordinate when it comes to right here. So if y is greater than that and y is less than or equal to lobby handler.y coord. Let's just say less than. So they can't actually stay up there. They'll be teleported back to the spawn. So let's actually subtract like 5 from that just to make sure. And so at this stage, they won't be able to hover over the Koth event for that. Also, I'm not sure why these are saying. Hopefully there's a Koth event that's hosted that is at a specific location that we can see it spawn in. And then maybe the service is restarting at that point and the actual rolling back system isn't taking place. There is a an area right there for Koth, but it's just like 1 in however many chance. Okay, so I'm going to restart this real quick, and then we can host a Koth event afterwards if you guys want to jump on Kit PvP. That'll be a thing in just a few seconds here. Let me go ahead and build this. And then hopefully as someone who has a rank who can fly, but not lower down to the map, I won't be able to hover over the Koth arena in order to gain points. Because obviously you just win, because no one can hit you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and restart this. A Koth event just started, so sorry about that, but we're going to start one right as the server restarts. I'll send everyone back there. So send all kit PvP1. Doesn't exist. Okay, still starting up. We have to wait a few seconds. Anytime now. There we go. So let's send everyone to kit PvP. And then host events. Why is the server lagging? That's not good. Okay, so there we go. The event's being hosted. And then hopefully once that starts, I can try flying over it and see what happens. I think most people are AFK. Uh-oh, that's not good. This is not good. So in a minute, 16 seconds, the event will actually start. And then we should be able to try this out, as well as just play Koth for fun. So if anyone has any other kit PvP bugs, please let me know what they are. And I'll see what I can do. Oh, respawning. Let me look into that. Um, I don't know why this isn't automatically working. Let me actually Google how to do this because it's been a while. So let's see here. Spigot auto respawn players. Player.spigot.respawn. Okay, that seems easy enough. So on player player respawn event isn't a thing in here apparently. Do I have a global events? General events, okay. We have player respawn in here. Okay, let's just add this right here. Public void on player respawn events. And then we can say, what was it? It was player.spigot.respawn event.get player.spigot.respawn. I mean, that should do it. So we'll try that. But let's see if the Koth is working. So the Koth is launched. Let's figure out where it is first. Because I don't have the compass until I jump down. So it seems like it's over here in the northeast corner. Let's see if someone can attack me so I can respawn. See if Travis can help out. I guess I could just let them kill me, but... No, Travis, kill me. There we go. Okay, so to the northeast, so over here, I currently have 0 points. I'm flying over it, I still have 0 points. Okay, so that was fixed. I'm assuming it's working because that's where they are. And of course, if I jump down, it's going to be like, hey, you can't go there. So now let me make sure that I can still get points by just running over here. Hopefully no one kills me. If I get at least 1 point, then that means we know it's working. Okay, so we're getting points now. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Now let's test this. So I'm going to restart. We're still early in the Koth, so I'm just going to restart now. Let me make sure that everything is working before I actually deploy this. All right, here we go. Build. This will be 2 bugs fixed for Kit PvP, hopefully, and also other games. Obviously, like clicking respawn is just annoying, so there should always just be auto respawn. Oops, I built that without my actual deployment thing working. What is this? Why is this here? All right. Darn. I think it... No, I didn't deploy. No, it deployed. Okay, restarting. And then this should have auto respawns, and I think that's all the Kit PvP bugs I'm aware of at the moment. There might be more, but that's at least a good start for that. But that's like the most active game right now. The Manhunt's mostly playable, but I don't know, Manhunt's like a commitment to play. It's not like a mini game you jump on just for fun. You have to like actually try and beat Minecraft in a reasonable time. So that might be a problem with the game mode as a whole. But we're gonna try it out on launch and see what happens. Okay, KPP is back. Let me send everyone back there. And then host event. There we go. So now let's see if we die, if we're able to auto respawn. Nope, that didn't work. Let's look in the console. No, this is not for cracked players. This is only for premium accounts. What? Did Kit PvP just crash? Okay, apparently it doesn't like that. I don't understand why that would cause that to crash, but okay. Hold on, let me deploy this real quick so KPP is at least working. and then we can go ahead and do more research on how to actually make the auto respawn thing work. I used to have it on my last servers. I'm not sure where it went. But I'm deploying right now, and I'll restart kit PvP, which seems to be lagging a whole lot. So it really didn't like that. Let me just try and kill the screen. Okay, let me go back into kit PvP. And then I'm going to run kit PvP at 255.90. I think I need to automatically just restart the server so it gets like the new one as well. So while that's restarting, I'm going to see what's going on when it comes to making the things auto respawn. That sounds correct. I remember something like that, but these packet things always change, so I'd rather not use packets. I'm just on my monitor Googling at the moment. Is kit PvP back up? It is. Okay, someone try killing me in kit PvP. I'll send everyone over there real quick. That's not the right one. Send all kits PvP 1. There we go. Okay, so when I die, I should be able to just click on respawn and without crashing the server. Okay, cool. So that's back to normal. It's better to click on respawn than to crash the server on death. I swear I had this. Let me check my old repos. Maps are custom made at the moment. My goal is to make it so all of them are custom made, but I'm not sure what the future holds. Depends on the game modes we add. Okay. Let's do a search for respawn within the repository here. Going through some very old code real quick. I should just search for player respawn events. A nickname plugin. I might eventually, but that will likely just be for as a rank perk for people who purchase ranks. Like most other servers have it. Because it's not like technically pay to win, but it's something people want. Where is this? Team handler versus minigame events. What even is that? I'm just looking at super old code right now. I'm so confused. I don't understand. Let me do more Googling. There's a plugin for it, but I don't really want to use plugins. I'd rather just write it myself. Like public plugins, I mean. Okay. It's taking too much time. I think I'll just probably do some Googling about this off camera and then eventually implement that because I don't think it matters too much to like be live streaming when like just Googling for a random solution. Let's see here. What can we do real quick? So I think build is offline. It is. Let me go ahead and start that up. Manhunt will be down for the night. And I think that I'm going to try and improve the menus here and add in some cosmetic things. I think those will be kind of fun to work on. And during beta, everyone will have access to them, probably just for testing. But a lot of those will be things you have to unlock through crates that you can vote for, and some of them will be a very small percentage that are like you unlock by buying a rank. Usually just like the coolest ones. But I think I'm gonna try and get things ready to start working on cosmetics over the next few streams, potentially. At least have that option. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the manhunt. It would stop, that'd be great. Okay, there it is. Then I'm gonna go and start my building server. Whoops. So I can look at my inventory plans that I had. I'm just being mean here. I know those two, by the way. Okay. Is the build server up? It is. Okay, so we're going to import so this is gonna be the main menu. Total progress of how many you've unlocked, how to unlock cosmetics, different things here. So like for example, balloons will be like a falling block entity attached to a lead, and the falling block entity will be like floating behind you. We have a bunch of different options. I think these are not meant to be like that. These are some of the cool ones I'm planning on making. Okay, so what is this hotbar supposed to look like? Because we don't really have room for that. Why is that there? Oh, okay. I don't know where I was playing out the hotbar. Interesting. Okay, so this fireworks is going to become like a cosmetics item. And I think that the hub selector is going to go to the end of the hotbar. So we're going to move the last two ones over one. The hub selector is going to go to the end, and the cosmetics is going to go here. There's going to be some changes. So we're going to go to servers, hub, items. The firework is going to actually be deleted. And then under hub, we can get rid of the firework. And then we can go to profile. This is going to be one slot to the left, so -1. Player vanisher, same thing, -1. And then the hub selector will be slot 8, which is the 9th slot because it starts at 0. We're then going to add in a new class. This is going to be called cosmetics. And we're going to extend hub item base. So public cosmetics. We can then pass in super. That's the name of it. And then let's actually, how do I do this? Yeah, so we pass in the item stack, or an item creator technically, which is a custom class of mine. And then we're going to pass in the slot. So with that said, here we're going to say new item, item creator. That's going to be a firework. And then we're going to pass in slot 1, which is the second slot. And then what is the problem here? We're going to implement these methods. And we're going to make sure these are actually events. And this class is automatically registered as an event because it extends a registered event listener. So now on player join, we're going to say give item event.getPlayer. And on mouse click, we're going to say is item event.getPlayer. At this stage, we can actually open up an inventory, but for now, I'm just going to say event.getPlayer.send works. So now we can actually set this up. So new cosmetics. And then I'm going to restart the hub in a second. So if you're on the hub, make sure you join Kit PvP because you will be kicked here in a few moments. I'll make sure to summon everyone though. So if you do get moved, that's why. So Bungie send all Kit PvP1. And then I'm going to go into my hub screen and I'm going to be restarting this here in a few seconds once it actually deploys. So I'm not sure how far we're going to actually get on the cosmetics tonight, but I just want to get at least the main menu set up. Did that restart already? No, it didn't. Okay, return the hub now. That's another cool thing about this is that the TNT will actually have a countdown on top of it. So you can see right there, it counts down and then explodes and changes color and all that. Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to. Okay, so the hub's up. So we now see cosmetics, which just says works. When I click on it, everything else should still work. We will eventually have a third item here just to even it out, but for now this is fine. So now I want this to actually open up a menu. And that menu will be similar to this one here. So I think for the last of the stream, we're going to be creating this menu. And then in future ones, we can actually work on some of the cool gadgets, which will probably be pretty interesting, especially these ones. So a Connect 4 inventory game, Snake inventory game. You can play Pong in an inventory. A Spleef hub game, King of the Ladder. A Sumo hub game. A trampoline. A rideable cloud. A parachute, jetpack. A bounty block that you can ride around on. Survival games looting practice. So you can practice looting random items in a chest. You can practice using the MLG water strategy. So you'd be like falling for a while and you have a water bucket. Grappling hook. You can spin the world, which is just editing the time. Teleport bow, and then rideable ender pearls. So we're probably going to start with these things because they're the most fun to use. But I think we're going to try and create this menu here. And so this is fairly simple to do. However, I'm not sure if I just want to add in placeholder text for the actual percentages, or if I want to add in that. We're probably just going to do placeholder text for now. We can add in a system that actually calculates how many of those you've unlocked. And then once they're all done, I will add in a system to add in how to unlock them, such as voting crates in the hub or other things like that. Potentially linking your Discord once that's a thing, or linking your Twitter to the Twitter app once that's a thing will give you some amount of voting crates, which will then give you a random one. So that's the idea there. And also you can see on the screen right now, this is how the old server did it. So there's weekly rank gifts, there's winning games, passing a day of playtime, which does have an AFK system, so you can just AFK for a day. You can also just buy them on the store because they're cosmetics. So we'll probably do a lot of those same things. So I think we're going to go ahead and, try and create this. And I think I'm going to try and create like a category system where you can actually click on one of these and go into that menu. So like, let's say vehicles. So like there's certain things you can like fly around in the hub and it'll actually say vehicles and you can go back, you can move them around. You can move around the actual inventories, but there's actually nothing there. So I think that's what we wanted to try and create now, which might take probably like 30 minutes or so. Hopefully, we'll see. So let's go ahead and open up an inventory like this. Let's start with that. And then we also, I think, want to make an entire new package for cosmetics. And then potentially move this in here and refactor that. So that's like the main class file. So we're going to have private and inventory factory, which is a custom thing, which apparently doesn't exist. Inventory factory. Let's import this. There we go. So there's the inventory. And then within here, we're going to say inventory equals new inventory factory. We're going to get access to some things here. However, this is one thing that we can listen for whenever someone clicks on this inventory. The cool thing about inventory factories is that we can pass in how large they are in rows, as well as the name. So when it comes to how large they are in rows, let's see what this chest is. This is 6 tall. So we're going to pass in 6, and this is going to be cosmetics menu. So at this stage, we can now actually pass in certain things. So let's say private int. We want to create integers for all of these. Total progress, how to unlock cosmetics. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Total progress is slot 12. So total progress equals 12. And then private int, how to unlock equals 14, because it's just 2 further. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, wait, I counted all these. 26, 27, 28, 29. Right? some of them get messed up, but the plugin should have counted these at one point. So 26, 27, 28, 29. So item fountains is 29. So we're going to have private int item fountains equals 29. And then what's the next one is gadgets. So private int gadgets equals 30. Then halo particles, private int halo particles equals 31. Whoops. And then particle trails, private, whoops, int particle trails equals 32. And then balloons, private int balloons equals 33. Okay, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Banners is 38. Private int banners equals 38. That probably isn't the most entertaining thing in the world, but I'm almost done. And then we're going to go to pets as 39. I probably should have named these like, like pet slot, banner slots, things like that, so it's more clear. Hats is the next one. Private int hats equals 40. And then we're going to say armor and then vehicles. So private int armor equals 41. Private int vehicles equals 42. So we have access to all those. So now after we create the inventory, we can place certain things inside the inventory. So inventory.add item. Let's say the total one is total progress. New item creator. It's going to be a book. So I get item stack. So now we have access to this. So now what we want this to look like is total progress, total unlocked progress is some numbers. So set name is going to have and item total progress. And then add lore. What is the exact text I have here? Total unlocked progress and then something out of something and a percentage. Total unlocked progress and var 0 and x out of and var 200 and x and x and then and var 0%. So these color codes and x will reset it to, and no, this isn't pre-recorded. This is live at the moment. So and x is going to reset everything, and then and var is going to be the actual variable name, so like the gold. So there's that. Let's just make sure that this works. So then on player click, we then want to say inventory.open. Whoops. Let's actually get access to the player. Player equals event.getPlayer. We can then say player, whoops. Wasn't there a way to, okay, yeah. We're going to open up that and let's go ahead and run this. And then we're going to restart the hub. So if you're on the hub, you will be kicked at some point. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm not sure if I can recommend it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build this. And then I'll be restarting the hub here in a few seconds. Well, that didn't go well. Okay, so I think we're going to restart the hub at this point. It already deployed. So once that comes back up, we should be able to join and hopefully create a menu once we click on that item. In theory. Starting up, and we'll go try it out here in a second. This isn't going well. Yep. All right, let's see what the hub has for us. Cool. First try. It's always good. So we got the cosmetics menu, total progress. If I click on this, nothing happens. Awesome. So that's the power of the inventory factory class, which I don't think is open source right now, but I might eventually make it open source. It does a lot of things for me. So if I wanted to detect whenever they clicked on that, I can say if, this should not be I, this should be slot. If slot is exactly equal to total progress, That's not progress. There we go. So I can just then check the slot there and then do something inside of this click callback here. So now let's go ahead and add in the other items. And then hopefully we can add in an inventory for all of these, perhaps a class for all of these, and also a class that is extendable to all of those to make it so it's easy to actually add in all the cosmetics and to track the progress that every player has whenever they actually go to view it. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So let's join the build server so we can look at the actual inventory. And here we see how to unlock cosmetics. So let's go ahead and add this in real quick. So right here, we're going to say inventory.add item, how to unlock new item creator a chest. And we're going to get the item stack. Then we're going to change some methods together. So set name and item, how to unlock cosmetics. We can add some lures. And within here, what do we have? Unlock cosmetics by opening crates. I'm not sure. Oh, crates can be acquired by this. Okay. So unlock cosmetics by opening crates. I swear I wrote this code at one point. So we're going to have all those different options here. Okay, so add lore, empty string. Crates can be, okay, what was it? Acquired. By, was that just a list of it there at that point? Yeah, so voting daily, weekly rank gifts, winning games. Whoops. Let's add in those real quick. So voting daily, and then we can say and action / vote. Weekly rank gifts, winning games. So weekly rank gifts, and then winning games. And then in here, what else do we want? We want passing a day of playtime / playtime, buying them off the store. So passing a day of playtime and action / playtime. I don't even know if that works right now. Let's try it out. Playtime. Okay. This is the most readable format, but that's, I forget actually what that is. I think it's days, hours, minutes, seconds, I think. So there's that. If you ever want to know your playtime anywhere, you can do that. Then we also want buying them on the store because these are cosmetics, so we can sell them. So buying them on the store and action / buy. Or was it / store? Okay, Travis. Hello. / buy, yeah. So there's that. Now, those aren't actually going to do anything when we click on them. So we don't have to listen for the click event at all. But when it comes to the other ones, we do want these to actually go into their own inventory that actually shows the rest of them, which are planned out here. So with that said, I want to actually create a proper system here, not just create an inventory that doesn't do anything. So we now have this. We can create a cosmetic base, or a category base. And then things are going to extend this. So we're going to have a private name, private string name, and then we're going to have public category base. I do not want to import that. Okay. String name, this.name equals name. And then we can say public string get name. We can then return name. So at this stage, we have the ability to actually extend this and just provide a name. Obviously, we'll be adding in more functionality to this. But we're wanting to actually pass in some way to view an inventory. So each one could have a inventory factory. So private inventory factory. Let's make sure this is actually imported. I'm not sure why my auto imports aren't working when it comes to classes that I made. And then perhaps we can pass in a inventory factory here. So yeah, inventory factory. We can then say this.inv equals inv, and then we can just do that inside the actual class. We're going to create a class for each category. Now we need the ability to know what player has what amount unlocked and also the maximum amount of items there are for that. So instead of just saying that the max is like 14, or 20 for item fountains. So instead of just saying int 20, I can actually have a cosmetic class, and each one is going to represent a certain category. So inside of here, we're going to have our categories in there. We're going to create another package called cosmetics. But then inside of here, we're going to create another class called cosmetic base. And so this is going to be something that the players can then click on, and this is going to be something that is going to then listen for. So inside of each category, we're going to have a private list of cosmetic base called cosmetics. Then inside here, we can say this dot cosmetics equals new array list. So now at this stage, we have a list of cosmetics that we can potentially add to this. But let's see, how do I want to do this? So we can say, whoops, that's not what I want. Public cosmetic, no, public void add cosmetic. So here's this. Yes, it should be hosted 24/7. So we're gonna say this dot cosmetics dot add cosmetic. So now we can run this inside of certain things. Like for example, the cosmetic base here, we can say private string name, very similar to the category base actually. There's too much stuff to copy there. Public cosmetic base, we can say string name, this dot name equals name. And then we can say public string get name, we can return this dot name. So at this stage, we also want the ability to have a category. And so perhaps each category should have its own enum potentially. So under cosmetics, we're going to create an enum. So we can say public enum cosmetic category. So let's see here. So we're going to have all the different categories. We have item fountains, gadgets. I can just look up here actually. The halo particles. We're going to have particle trails. We're going to have balloons, banners, pets, hats, armor, vehicles. So now we can actually pass in some of these into the category base. And so we can have a private cosmetic category. And then here we can pass it in, like, let's say here. So cosmetic category, and then this dot category equals category. We can also say public cosmetic category get category, and we can return. Can I make these static? I thought there was a thing that it didn't matter. Apparently it does though, because it's not actually. Maybe it's just how I'm importing it. Oh well, doesn't matter. We're gonna import this dot category. Okay, so don't know what these guys are doing, but now we have that. So that's useful because inside of a category base, or inside of cosmetics, we can have a static method. So we can say public static void add cosmetic. This is going to be a cosmetic base and also a category. Cosmetic category. So here we have this. This is going to be useful because we can gain access to certain things here. One thing we could do is actually private category base, and then we can gain access to certain ones within the constructor here. So we can say, see here, private cosmetic category, and then we can gain access to certain ones there. Although, how would I even do that? That's right, that doesn't need that. Let me actually think here, because I want to just, before I start writing a bunch of code, I want to actually make sure I'm doing this correctly. Because this is going to be like a system that's going to represent like hundreds of different cosmetics. So the cosmetic base is going to be the actual thing for the individual feature. The category base is going to be something that organizes all the categories. Do we even need an enum? Actually, I don't think. Maybe we do. No. Let me think about it. I don't think we need this at all. I don't think we need this. I think I know what we're going to do here. Let's go back. We actually don't need this at all. So let's get rid of this. There we go. Okay, so let's think about a potential cosmetic here. So under, let's say item fountain. That's where like a bunch of items are just like jumping out of your player. So some servers have this. Let's create a very basic one for like diamonds. So we're going to make a new package called item fountains. Be a lot of packages here, but there's a lot of different things we have to organize. Actually, the item fountains really shouldn't have a class per individual item. That seems horribly inefficient. What we should do is have a class that we just pass in what we want. So just in case we do add multiple classes, I'll still keep the package, but this is just going to be a item fountain here. So in the constructor, that's not what I want. This is going to extend cosmetic base. So we can then say super item, wait, I want this to be able to be a thing for each individual item stack that we want. So we're gonna have an item stack. And I think I have a system to actually, let's see here, item util. Can I import that? No. There we go. So now we can say item util dot serialized name is not correct. Item, I mean. There was something that allowed me to like get the display name. Like the correct capitalization and everything. We're gonna say item stack dot get type dot toString fountain. Obviously that will be in all uppercase and all that stuff. We'll eventually fix that. Oh wait, I think there was a way I could do that with a string util I wrote. String util dot capitalize all words. There you go. That might actually do it. I think that's going to remove all of the underscores. I think. Get first letter capitalized. That might be it actually. All right, we're just going to go with that and see what happens. So this item fountain here is then going to extend the cosmetic base, but the cosmetic base needs to know what category it's in. So actually, it might not need to, because one thing I can do here is, let's say this cosmetic base inside of here, we can create a new thing called item fountain category. This can extend the category base, and then we can say public item fountain category. Whoops. What do we need to actually have here? Category base needs a name and an inventory. So we can say super, we can say item fountains, and then get env. So this is going to be a method that needs to be there. So in here, we can have abstract. This can be, I forget how to do this. It's been years since I've worked in Java with this type of stuff. Public abstract inventory. No, inventory factory. I'm not sure why I deleted that. Get env. One problem related. So we're going to say override. Sure, that works. I would like to have that there though. What am I doing? Override public inventory factory get env. We're going to return null. So what's wrong with this? It's been a while since I've done this type of stuff, so I'm trying to remember everything right now. I thought I could do this. Or is it something that it doesn't like that it is something I'm overwriting? Okay, so it doesn't like it. I don't think I'll ever make a server for cracked players as well. It's probably, all the servers I make will always be a premium server. Cannot reference before super type constructor has been called. I thought there was a way to do this in some way. So this actually isn't necessary. We can always call a function that is like, let's see here. Instead of passing this in here, we could always just say, so we got get name, we can say public void set inventory factory inventory this.env equals env. We could do something like that. Or we can just have, what am I doing? This will be overridden, and then we can not have that. And then we can actually implement this method here. And then we can return a inventory factory here. So inventory factory env equals new inventory factory. Here we're just going to return true. And then here we're going to return env. And so there we go. This is going to be our actual factory here. We have to pass in how many there's going to be. Let's assume 6, and then we can pass in get name space menu. Okay, there we go. So there's that. And then inside here, we're going to be able to actually customize what we want for each individual category. So this is extending the category base. But also, I'm wanting to have category base has a list of cosmetics where we can add a cosmetic. So we can say add cosmetic and pass in a new item fountain. This takes in what? An item stack? Okay. So we can say new item stack material dot diamond. And I want to make this easier to not have to type out new item stack each time. We're going to overload this constructor with a material. We can say material, material, and then we can pass in this new item stack and pass in the material. Let's make sure I import this. Oops, that's not what I want. So now we can just pass in material.diamond. Makes it a little easier on me. But what's the problem here? Okay, that problem's solved. Okay, so now we want basically, instead of just having a bunch of integers, we're probably going to have a map. Maybe. Maybe a map that holds the key as an integer, which would be these values. So we're going to have these. Whoops. And then the value of the map is going to be the category base, like this. So with that said, we can say private map integer category base. And we can say categories. And then right here, we can say categories equals new hash map. And then categories.put. This is going to be item fountains as new item fountain category. So now we can potentially gain access to that category and then gain access to the potential inventory that's there based off of just the ID. So that's the idea there. So now whenever we click on this, so let's say, let's try and get the actual category base. So category base category equals categories.get slot, and then if category, whoops, if the category is not equal to null, which means that it does exist within the map. In this case, that's just item fountains. We then want to say the category dot get inventory dot open player. There we go. That's all we have to do to open any category. We just have to actually fill out the category inside the overloaded function here, or the abstract function that we have to implement here for each exact cosmetic or category base. Okay, so now we have the item fountain, and so let's see if this works. This, in theory, might actually work right now. So we're going to go ahead and restart the hub, and we're going to see what happens. At the moment, there's nothing to help with, but actually I'm not sure if there will be anything to potentially help with on the server right now. Right now, I'm just making menus. So if you're on the hub, I'm going to restart that soon. So if you're there, try and go to kit PvP. I'm going to go ahead and build this. Okay, that's deploying, and then hopefully this works. We'll see. Okay, that seems to be doing that. Let's see what Travis is up to. Excellent. Just standing there. Okay. When can we go to the hub? Should be any second now. There we go. Oh, I never actually added the item. It's kind of hard to do that without adding the item. So I think that each individual category base should also have an item stack that's an icon. So private item stack icon. And then this could also be in the constructor. So item stack icon, this dot icon equals icon. And then we can say public item stack get icon. We can return this dot icon. So we have to do that within here. So we can then say new item creator. That's not what I want. New item creator. I'd like to import this, please. There we go. So we can say new item creator. And then this is going to be, what is this? Is Manhunt working? For the most part. we got a lot of the bugs fixed tonight. So MVTP flat, go to the flatland world. What is this? This is a dispenser. So material dot dispenser dot get item stack, and then within here we actually have to say what we're going to be doing here. So set name, we're going to say and item. I don't know if I can do get name. No, I can't. That's annoying. Can I have a, maybe the item I will just manually do that for, so I don't have to set the name here. So let's see, what is next? We want to view, click to view all hats. Okay, that was clearly not correct. So we also want to add the lore and then also the unlock progress. Perhaps that should be something that is done there. So in reality, we could just pass in an item stack or material. So let's override this. So we actually have the ability to pass in a material. So we have a material, and then we can just say this name new item stack material. Let's spell that correctly. There we go. So now we have access to that. We're going to actually do some edits to this icon here in a second, but for now we just need to pass in a material. So material dot dispenser. And then here we can say icon equals a new item creator. It would let me import it. You can pass in the icon as a base to get started. Then we can say set name and item plus name. What's the exact name we're wanting here? It's just that. Okay. And then we can add a lore. So and action, click and X to view all plus, oops, and var name. Okay. So there's that. And then we're going to have in a space and then unlock progress per player. So add lore space, and then we're going to say unlock progress. And then I think it's and var 0 and X out of and var, however many, let's say 100, and then and X and var 0%. That's going to actually create this exact string that we want right here. And then we'll actually, this is 20, we'll actually go in and use these things. We'll actually enter in real values here eventually. So now this is going to make the category more usable if we actually see it, but we actually have to apply this to the cosmetics menu itself. So what I can do here is, because we are creating a new thing, we can loop to the values of this map. After we set these, we can loop to the values. So for, I want to use const there. This is not JavaScript. We're going to say category base category, looping through categories.values. We can then say inventory.add item. We will need access to what slot they're going to be in. So I forget. Oh, wait, never mind. We already have access to that. So inventory.add item. Oh, wait, we don't actually have access to that because, darn. How do we know that what ones are these? Okay, I know how to do this. Item fountains is 29. So we're going to say under this, we're going to say public static final slot equals 29. Int. There we go. So now the item fountains, this is going to be item fountain category dot slot. And then right here, we can loop through the category. So we got category dot slot, which cannot be accessed. How do I access that? Okay. What's the best way to do this? So I need to be able to access this slot from the actual class itself, as well as, I mean, I don't think that just duplicating it is the best solution, because we need to access it through the category base. Perhaps we can do like a get slot here. So public int get slot, and then return this dot slot. And then that's not what I want. There we go. That doesn't exist, but we're going to need it to exist. This actually could just be done like this. There's that, and then here we can just say override. We can return slot, which it should have access to here. So there's that. And then within the category, we're going to say inventory dot add item, category dot get slot, and then category dot get icon. There we go. That's going to use all of them. Obviously, we're just going to have the item fountains right now because that's the only category putting into the map. So I'm going to restart the hub here in a few seconds. So if you're on there, go to some other server and you won't get kicked. Get everything ready here. Let's go ahead and build this. Starting to realize that this is going to take longer than I thought. Let's see here, screen hub. So I'm restarting the hub real quick. And then at this stage, we can just pass in this for every single category that we create. And then everything will automatically work because we're just looping through, getting the icon and all that stuff. So everything's specified inside of its own class, such as this category. We're going to add in its own cosmetics here. And then we're also going to add in its own inventory and its own slot defined right here for the actual inventory. So everything's concealed within its own class. Same thing for the actual cosmetics themselves. All the functionality be within this, which extends cosmetic base, which every single category will have a list of that it inherits from the actual cosmetic base class. So with that said, if we go to the hub, we hopefully will see it right there. If I click on it, item fountains menu. So now sometimes there's a door. So if I go here, there's a door to get back. I need to make sure that that's there. So we need to go back to the cosmetics menu with a door in the center. That's actually fairly simple to do with my inventory factory. So whenever we gain access to the inventory, .open here, .open passes in, I can pass in an actual inventory, which is itself, and that's the previous menu. So here's the previous menu, and here's the player to actually send the inventory to. So with that said, I can pass in itself, so there's a door will then automatically appear. So I'm going to restart the hub real quick again to make sure this works. So if you're in the hub, make sure to go elsewhere. I'm going to join build. So now let me make sure that my deployment system is working. And we're going to go ahead and build this. So now with that said, we should actually have a door to open to go back to the previous menu. Will the server become public? When it's done is the best answer I can give. I have no idea, to be honest. I'm wanting to make sure that everything is as good as possible before I launch. Honestly, it might take a month or two, if not more, to actually finish everything to the standards that I have in mind. So if you're in the hub, I'm restarting real quick. It should be back up in a few moments, though. Travis, why do you still have his head on? All right. The hub is starting up. Go ahead and go back to the hub. Should be ready any second. There we go. There we go. Item fountains menu. Previous menu. Send us back to cosmetics. Not bad. So now we just have to do the same thing for everything else. I think I'm going to fill in these items and then call it a day there, which will just take a few moments. Obviously, these values of the unlock progress are not dynamic. We will eventually calculate how many items there are in the list for this category, for the 20. We're actually going to do that real quick. So within the item fountain category, instead of just saying out of 20, where did I even do that? Here, instead of saying out of 20, we can say plus cosmetics.size. So that will always be there. Now this 0 will have to be calculated per player, so we might be able to actually have this in here. We need this on a per player basis. So whenever they open the inventory, you might have to recalculate this, but we'll deal with that another time. So I'm going to go in and make different categories for each of the things. And then if we can go into an empty menu and then go back to the main menu, I'll call that a successful day here. The next one's gadgets, which is a bow. So I think that this should go inside of here. Yeah. So now we're going to make a new class. The reason why I have these nested here is because it can be a lot of them. And so it makes more sense to nest an additional package there. But within here, there's only going to be like 8 of these, so that's fine. We're going to make a new class called gadgets category. And we're basically just going to copy this code here and change some things. So it's going to be a fairly simple thing to actually create the icons for each one. This will be 30, not 309. I'm going to copy paste this here. This will be gadgets, and this is going to be a bow. We're not going to add any cosmetics to this, so it will say out of 0, and then everything else is good to go. There we go. We now have a gadgets. Let's make sure that this works real quick. So categories.put gadgets category.slots new gadgets category, and that should work. I'm actually going to add all these real quick before we start. Just try to restart only one last time. So next is the halo particles. So I'm going to go into gadgets. I'm going to copy this. I'm actually going to close most of these. And then I'm going to make a new class called halo particle category. And then within here, I'm going to paste this in 31. Whoops. Now what is this? This is sunflower? That's a double plant. Excellent. Excellent naming. Okay, whatever. Halo particles. I think it's actually a sunflower, but that's supposed to be 31, right? What is gadgets? 30? Okay, cool. All right, there we go. There's another menu. Let's copy this. Let's make sure I actually remember to add it here. So we can say categories.puts. That means that some of these actually won't be necessary at this stage. So categories.puts, we're going to say halo particles category.slot and then new halo particles category. And I'm actually just going to, I should keep those just in case I forget what the actual ones are. But now let's go to the next one. So after the halo particles, we have particle trails. I'm going to make a new class called particle trails. I'm going to paste those in. Particle trails goes to the next one. And then we can say particle trails with iron boots. Whoops. Why is numlock off? Okay, iron boots. There we go. So that's 32. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's use this. So obviously this system that I developed is now fairly easy to actually add in new categories. So we can say categories.put particle trails.slot and then new particle trails. That's not what I want. Particle trails. There we go. So now let's make the next one, which is balloons. I can make a new Java class called balloon category. Paste this in. Balloons. I think this is just a standard wool. And number 33. Yeah, it's just standard wool. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and we can now make a new balloon. So categories.put balloon category.slots and then new balloon category. It feels weird accessing this twice, basically creating a constructor of the class and then also accessing a static thing. Perhaps this could be better, but this is fine for now. I'm not going to worry about it. So now we have balloons. We want to go to the next one, which is going to be banners. So we can make a new class called banners category. I think you guys get the idea here. Banners, and then this is going to be a banner. Now the slot here is very different. We can't just increase one. It's 38 because it's going to the next row. So there's that. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's use the banner class. So categories.put banner category.slot. And then we're going to say new banner category. Can you code for cracked MC? The server will always be premium. Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? So we have access to the banners. Almost done, just 4 more. So the next one is going to be pets. So we're going to create a new thing called pets category. Pets, and this is a leash, and then this is going to be 39. Go ahead and copy this. And then the pets category, we can then say categories.put pets category.slots and then new pets category. And each one of these might have additional functionality inside of them depending on what's going to happen. Obviously the inventory will be very different for each one, and that's why these look very similar, because the actual functionality for each individual thing is different. We have the pets, and then next is going to be hats. Only 3 more, including this one. So hats category, paste this in. We can say hats, and what is this? Probably a diamond helmet. That's what I'm, yeah. Okay. Whoops. All right. Or a gold helmet. Whoops. This is 40. All right. Let's go ahead and say categories.put hats category.slots new hats category. Okay. So now let's go to the next one, which is armor. And then we have vehicles, which vehicles are kind of cool. At one point, I was able to make these helicopters. The code broke, I had to fix it. But I once made these helicopters fly around, and they weren't really glitchy or laggy at all. So I was able to make the player like sit inside and actually move them around, but hopefully I can fix that up eventually to show you guys. The blades didn't like spin or anything like that, but you can move them at a somewhat slow pace. If you went too fast, it did look glitchy. So some of the vehicles will be things like that. So next is vehicles. So we're going to create a, wait, is it vehicles? No, it's armor. Whoops. That's not what I want. I want an armor category. Armor, and this, what did I pick here? A chain chest plate. And this is 41. Go ahead and copy this. We can then say categories.put armor category.slot new armor category. Okay, the next is going to be the last one, which is vehicles. New class, so we can have a vehicle category. We can paste in this, copy this here, vehicles, and then this is a minecart, I'm guessing, right? Yes. This is now line 42. Now, last thing we have to do for categories.put vehicle category.slot new vehicle category. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. If you are on the hub, you will be kicked soon. So go to Kit PvP or some other server. I think that's the only publicly available one. Let me make sure I can deploy this correctly. And then after that, we should have a working menu where we can go into the categories and go back to the main menu. And I think that's all we're going to do today. So let's try this out real quick. I'm in the hub now, so let me make sure this actually deploys. If only would actually deploy. There it is. Okay, return the hub. So once the hub is back up, we should be able to go through all those. We'll see. Okay, the hub seems back, so let's go there. Oh, cool. We get exceptions. Mouse click cosmetics line 85. Why is that's a thing? The inventory is a thing. Unless there's an exception where I'm placing some of these. The inventory should be big enough to hold all of these slots, so I don't understand what the problem would potentially be. Interesting. This code won't be open source, but if you learn something from it, then feel free to apply that to your own server, whether it's cracked or not. I don't know the details of an actual cracked server versus an uncracked server because I've never made one. So I don't know if there's a different library or something like that for that. Game selector. Wait, does everything just break? Oh, everything broke. Okay, hold on. I have to restart this to see what the original startup errors are. Let me actually whitelist the server so no one joins. So 1 second, guys. Need to make sure that no one joins so I can see the startup errors because apparently clicking at all just throws an exception. Okay, so there's the exception. Let's see what's wrong. Category based line 27 is a null pointer exception. Oh, duh. We should probably create the array list before we access it. Suppose that makes sense. All right. Hold on. I'll be unwhitelisted here in a second. Let me just make sure I can actually deploy this before I build it. So I'm going to turn off the whitelist, but you'll be kicked here in a second. Let's build. Okay, I think it's deploying, then I'll restart the hub. Okay, it's deploying, restarting. So you should be able to join back here in a second. I must made a simple null pointer mistake there. What's this? Oh, okay. And I join the hub. Hey, look at that. Particle trails menu, hats menu, vehicles menu. Not bad. Pets, gadgets. Excellent. Everything seems to be working again. All right, so that's what we just created, is a simple way to actually create all of these things and apply certain things inside, which is probably what we'll be doing later on. By that, I mean another stream. So as I add them, you'll be able to see them here. Some of them will be locked. You'll have to unlock them through crates, which I do have some really cool visual ideas for the crates. So that's something that I'll eventually get around to making. I might make those sooner rather than later so people can actually unlock the things, but we'll see. Those will be things you can get from voting for the server, as well as playtime and other things like that. You will be able to buy them on the store, but there'll be many ways you can get the actual crates without actually spending money. Yeah, Travis is a fan of the balloons, so those will be there because they're fairly simple. Lobby parkour, there is one over here. So if you click on the compass and click on the boots, there's a parkour here with a checkpoint system and everything. There was one bug with it, but for the most part, it's functional. So yeah, there's that. I think that's going to be it for this stream. There's nothing else I can really add that won't take like an extra hour or two to make. So I don't want to start something right now because it's so late. So I think that's going to be it. I'll probably be streaming some mixture, or I'll probably be streaming something, whether it's Discord.js or Minecraft tomorrow at some point. So if you are interested in that, make sure you subscribe to not only the YouTube channel, but in the Discord server, the YouTube notifications, and you'll be tagged in the Discord server whenever I go to schedule a live stream. But yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.